Psycho is one of the most iconic horror movies of all time that many would consider to be Alfred Hitchcock's best movie. But as popular as that movie is, not a lot of people talk about the sequel, Psycho 2. Starring Anthony Perkins once again as Norman Bates and directed by Richard Franklin, Psycho 2 isn't the cash grab you would expect it to be. It's not as good as the original, but it's a really good film on its own and had some twists and brutal kills that I didn't see coming. The movie is about Norman Bates 20 years after the first movie. He is very different from the last time we saw him, as he's now sane again after years of being in a mental hospital. He moves back into the old house, now works at a diner, and is trying to live a normal life while a lot of people still hate him. But as the movie goes on, he starts to hallucinate more, and people in the town start mysteriously disappearing. That's as much of the movie that I'll spoil, as most of the stuff that happens, especially in the third act, was very unexpected and came out of nowhere. The mystery of if Norman is becoming crazy again or if someone else is doing these murders is intriguing enough to keep you invested from beginning to end, and seeing Norman slowly start to lose his sanity over the course of the film was really creepy and disturbing, which is helped by Anthony Perkins' amazing acting. This movie is actually a realistic depiction of what happens when a murderer is released from prison. It shows how the public would react, how the family of the victims would react, and how people would treat him in public. This is very different from the first movie, as it's more of a character-focused drama than a straight-up slasher movie until the third act where all hell breaks loose. This is different from most forgotten sequels to iconic horror movies, as instead of being a generic copy of the first movie's plot without doing anything different to stand out or just be another random horror movie with the same name, this movie continues the story of the first film in a way that makes sense and isn't just a carbon copy of the first film. It would have been easy to make this a low-budget crappy horror movie and it would still make money because of brand recognition, but this movie is actually a decent continuation of the story from the first film that constantly makes you question who you should be rooting for. It's far from the greatness of the first film, but still a surprisingly good sequel that you should definitely check out. But if you want to know why the Jaws sequel sucked, consider watching this video.